Outer Orange.
Welcome back to another Outer Orange video. Today we're going to be doing some combos for the Ghost Kairi gem deck. So here is kind of like the ride line, and in here I already have the ruby because we're going to be kind of showing you, I'm going to be showing you guys some combos they can do on Kairi, some different ways you can bounce, what you can kind of do to utilize the most out of Kairi. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and start with the oh no, I didn't persona ride, what now approach. So you can go ahead and call an Ingrid on your right side, go ahead and call a Aerith if you have it in hand on your left side. You can also call out some Arnestas, you can have some boosters. If you happen to have another Ornesta, call an Ornesta here, and you can we have some damage here, so let's give ourselves some damage. And then so you can start off kind of sort of like this. You can swing at your opponent. This will be total 21-26 off of her skill. Your opponent will do whatever. You put this to the bottom because it's mandatory. Swing with this, use her skill to counterblast, call something to an open rearguard circle. So you can go ahead and call an Annalise. Annalise, now that she's a ghost unit, both of these stand themselves. This attack is still going through for pretty small, not too high, just like 18-20. And keep in mind, this is your non-persona ride, so they're going to do whatever with this. Then you can actually choose to swing with your Vanguard here first. You're not on persona ride anyway, so you might as well just, you know, not do anything else. Do your drive check, so that way you can put stuff here and kind of push your opponent. And keep in mind, this was still 4 attacks, so we'll go ahead and do our thing. We draw, give power over here, do another one. It's a perfect guard, and then you can end your turn swinging here. You don't have to do the skill. You can choose to put this into, oh yeah, and then so before your Vanguard swing, you also want to Soul Blast to grab your units, and then do a drive check, and then you would swing here. Keep in mind, you don't have to actually utilize a skill. You can just leave her there in case you want her there for next turn, or you can shove her into soul, give something 5k, whatever you want to do to help yourself in case you don't want your units being hit. You can also just give yourself the extra soul if you need it, or you can give yourself, your opponent, a reason to attack her in case you don't want to be hit anymore. But whatever works for you. That's pretty much the oh no, I didn't persona ride, what now type of approach. So if we were to persona ride, here we go, persona riding, doing our thing, drawing our card. Here we go, calling Arnesta back. You can call out not Arnesta, Aerith back, and we can call out an Arnesta back here, and we can have something like this as our board. If you really want, you can even push it even a little bit further. You can call it a ghost unit back here. Since you have a ghost unit on the board, you can give something 5k. I would recommend giving the 5k here, but you can be experimental, give the 5k wherever you feel like it. You can also give it here, but this actually might be the better approach in this situation, as this will be the most freestanding one. And then in this situation, you could just go ahead and start off right off the bat, swing right at your opponent's face. Tell them you're the boss, because you do have your persona ride now. You're a boss right now, and they're probably gonna guard or whatever. You're gonna shove this into soul. You can give something else 5k, so we can go ahead and give our restanding unit 5k here. Next, you're gonna swing this way. You can counterblast. Oh, I need more counterblast probably. There we go. So you're going to counterblast, and you can call another ghosty unit to the other side, so it can be extra spicy if we want. We can call something like her out, or if you want, you can call another Annalise out. And because this procs, these restand, so you can go ahead and do that. Then they'll have to take this. This is still going through for a total of 18-28 at their Vanguard. Next, you can go this way and then do it all over again. You can again attack. This number just got bigger though. Now it's 20, 30, 40 to their Vanguard, so they can do whatever. This will go into soul. You can give something 5k again if you want to. So my recommendation is probably you want to give the 5k here if you really want to push your opponent as far as possible. Next, you would want to probably swing with your Vanguard here, and honestly, you're probably going to want to grab these two. So sometimes maybe you got to keep cautious of where you're going, but you can Soul Blast, grab these two to your hand, do your drive check. Oh, crit, put all effects, and then you can call out 2 cards. So what you can do here is you can call out an Eleanor, and then you can actually call out Sia. And now Sia's skill says to Soul Blast, and look at top card, it's a crit of course, and you call it to the board. You can also call it to your hand if you really want to, but this will enable yet another attack. So just to give you guys a full induction of how many attacks we had 1 over here, 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6. And if you really wanted to push it, you can actually push it even further. You can even call her out. But sadly, You can call her out, and if your top card is a ghosty, you can even push it further as her. If this was a ghosty, you can then swing, get rid of it, and then you can use her skill to call another card out as well. But sadly, that wouldn't have worked in our case. It's pretty risky. But in this case, she's still pretty high because this will be 18 to their Vanguard, and then this will be a total of 18, 28, 33. And if you actually use the skill of Soul Blasting 2, you can even push it all the way up to 58. So she'll get an extra 15k on top of that. So that's kind of the super Oonga Boonga turn that you can do. You can just kind of like push as far as you can. There is another interaction. Let's go ahead and talk about that one. So on a very rare situation, you might put yourself in a spot where you really don't want your Arnesta on top. So let's fix that. So say you are just normal attacking, you can just, you know, attack, do whatever pretty much. Her skill says Soul Blast 2, put her on top, right? So now you know your drive check sucks. But what you can do, you can actually fix it. So you can actually go like this. You can attack with your Aerith, and if you have a floor in your hand, you can use Force skill, look at top card. You already know it's an Arnesta. She just goes to the bottom, and this will fix your drive check. So this is a way to fix your drive check, so that way you don't get the Arnesta, which will give you a higher chance to potentially hit whatever it is that you want to hit. The only thing that sucks is that you're not getting anything back, but you know, it's just something you can do. It's not something you have to do, but it's just something, it's a choice you can make to kind of help yourself, especially if you're not doing anything that turn. Say if this isn't your persona ride, you're just kind of, you know, having a party, and you're just trying to get multi-attacks to go through. And you, so if you want on your grade 2 turn, you can also do a little bit of like kind of like an early rush. It's nothing crazy, but you can do something like this: call a unit out, call floor out, use Force skill, look at top card. Oh, it's a grade 3, cool. You can call that out, and then if you really want to push, you can even get out your Sia, Soul Blast, look at top card. It's a draw, and you can have a board sort of like this. And now you're pretty much set up to have kind of like a little bit of a push turn here, as you can go this way and then go this way, do your drive check. Oh, it's a crit. That's pretty fancy. And then go this way. And because she gets an instant, you know, 5k, this will get kind of annoying, and then you can put this at the bottom and end your turn. It's really small, but it's something you can do. We do run quite a bit of grade 3, so it's actually very useful. Another thing you can do off a floor, in case you get your persona ride, something like this. If this is what you get off of this on your grade 3 turn, so on your grade 3 Kairi turn, like if they don't attack it, and if they do, I would recommend not letting it hit, or if it doesn't retire, good thing for you. You can actually just swing it this way, and then swing with your Kairi this way, Soul Blast, pick up your persona, pick up the Sia. These are both very good units, and then do your drive check, and then, you know, go to this rear. So that way you have your secured persona ride right there, and you also had your like mini little push turn on top of that. So it's actually pretty nice. I would recommend trying to get rid of these as soon as possible, or intercepting with them, so that way for your next turn you have more open circles to kind of do stuff. And yeah, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. And I think that's about it. There really isn't too many combos that you can do when you're on Kairi. The biggest thing is, like I said, you can secure this kind of early. You can do this kind of like as a combo extender, but you can also use floor as another combo extender, as she lets you look at top card and call. So lets you use your hand less. I would be very cautious about your hand usage. You want to use your hand as least as possible, so you want to keep yourself optimal in situations and grab whatever you need, so that way you don't have to, you know, do whatever, and just make sure you grab the stuff that you need, and be cautious, because the biggest mistake I think it is to make as a Kairi player is knowing what to grab on your Kairi turn. So if you're on the turn where you're on your persona ride, you got to be careful what you grab, because if you grab the wrong stuff, you won't be able to call stuff over, as there's a lot of cards that are restricted to open rearguard circles. So just something to keep in mind. Like for example, on this turn, it may be wise to grab these two, and then if you were to persona ride this turn, just recall them out again and kind of stop here. But you can also use her skill to Soul Blast, just look at the top card, and then you can add it to hand. You can't call it to the board, but you can add it to hand, enabling you still your attackers. You can then swing and then swing here. It gives you kind of like a little bit of a boost, but just be cautious of how you're calling stuff, because open rearguard circle is a thing. If I were to use this skill right here, I actually wouldn't be able to, because I have no open rearguard circles to call to, and that's why it's very important that you're cautious of where these are located and how you're using these, as these are your main key pieces to enable a lot of multi-attacking between your units back and forth. If you use too much of these, you'll start seeing that you don't have anything anymore, and you're kind of in a tough spot. So that's why I run quite a bit of the grade 3s, because I feel like they're just very necessary. The biggest thing is just knowing when to tempo and when to go in. That's probably the biggest advice I can give. Sometimes if you have persona ride, it's actually not a good idea to persona ride. If that's the only persona ride you saw that game, you got to make sure you persona ride on the turn that you know you can kill your opponent. You want to persona ride on the turn where you know you have the hand that will secure you the perfect situation. situation. So if you have a board like this, and if you were to Persona Ride on a board like this, chances are you're not going to be doing much. So if you were to Persona Ride and draw, our hand is not, like, pretending we don't have the ghosty in our hand, so we have something like this, there is literally no reason to Persona Ride at this point, as your rear guard space is kind of ugly. You're going to want to get rid of some of this stuff, like, and there's no easy way to get rid of it, but you eventually want to put a ghosty here so that way you can get rid of stuff. But if you have a board like this, you're kind of in trouble, as on your Persona Ride you won't be able to do too much. You can swing, you can call these, or you can call a whole column back, and you can do something like call. But just keep in mind, on your Persona Ride, you kind of waste a Persona Ride, as you are only going to be swinging 4 times. So you're only going to be swinging 4 times. So there's literally no reason for you to Persona Ride if you're not going to at least swing with lethal and swing at high numbers and swing with multiple attacks. So just something to keep in mind. Yes, it's so nice to see Persona, but sometimes there's no reason to Persona Ride if you know that you won't be getting much value out of it. So you have to be very cautious with when you're Persona Riding, and keeping track of your hand. Other than that, guys, I'm gonna head out. Like I said, I'm here to help you as much as I can, and I hope that this helps you in your Kairi investigating and Kairi building and all that stuff. So thank you so much for watching. See you guys in a future video. Peace out, guys. Das vidania. See you guys next time. Bye.